The Diamond Revolution, unleashing the power of women supporting women. Welcome to the Black CEO Podcast, where we're about to embark on a journey that could fundamentally alter your perspective on success, competition, and self worth. Today, we're diving deep into a conversation that's not just thought provoking, it's revolutionary. I recently had the extraordinary privilege of interviewing Darlene Chandler, a visionary entrepreneur and the founder of the groundbreaking brand Worthy I Am. Darlene isn't just another business leader. She's a catalyst for change, a beacon of hope for women everywhere, and a force to be reckoned with in the fight for true equality and empowerment. Her insights are like a breath of fresh air in a world that often feels suffocating with outdated notions of competition and self worth. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever caught yourself in that all too familiar trap of sizing up another woman? You know what I'm talking about. That quick mental comparison of achievements, appearance, or perceived worth. It's a habit so ingrained in many of us that we barely notice we're doing it. But what if I told you that this very habit, this knee-jerk reaction, might be the very thing holding us back from reaching our true potential? Darlene Chandler's message is clear, powerful, and frankly a bit unsettling in its simplicity. It's time for women to stop viewing each other as competition. Now, I know what you're thinking. Easier said than done, right? But stick with me here, because this isn't just another feel-good mantra. This is about dismantling years, no, centuries of societal conditioning that has pitted women against each other. Why is this so important? Why now? Well, in a world that seems hell-bent on dividing us, Darlene's vision is refreshingly, almost radically different. She believes, and after our conversation, I'm inclined to agree, that when women truly realize their inherent worth, the need for competition simply dissolves. Think about that for a moment. How much energy do we waste comparing ourselves to others? How often do we dim our own light because we're afraid of outshining someone else? It's exhausting, isn't it? And more importantly, it's completely unnecessary. Darlene's brand, Worthy I Am, isn't just a catchy phrase or a clever marketing ploy. It's a movement, a rallying cry for all women to recognize and embrace their worth. But what does that really mean in practice? Imagine, if you will, a world where women lift each other up instead of tearing each other down. A world where your success is celebrated by other women, not seen as a threat. It sounds almost utopian, doesn't it? But Darlene believes that it's not only possible, it's essential for our collective progress. Let's break this down. Why do we compete so fiercely for attention, for recognition, for success? Is it because deep down we believe there's not enough to go around? Not enough success, not enough recognition, not enough love? This scarcity mindset is at the root of so much of our competitive behavior. But here's the truth bomb Darlene dropped during our interview, and it's one that's still reverberating in my mind. There is enough success, enough recognition, enough love for all of us. When we truly internalize this, it changes everything. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, that's easier said than done. And you're absolutely right. Changing deeply ingrained habits and beliefs isn't easy, but it is possible. And the benefits, they're immeasurable. Darlene shared a powerful analogy during our conversation that I think perfectly encapsulates this idea. She likened women's worth to diamonds, each one unique, each one valuable in its own right. You wouldn't compare one diamond to another and say one is worthless, would you? So why do we do that to ourselves and other women? This shift in perspective is truly transformative. When you start seeing every woman as a unique, valuable diamond, it becomes impossible to view them as competition. Instead, you start seeing potential allies, collaborators, and friends. But let's get real for a moment. This isn't about holding hands and singing kumbaya. This is about real, tangible change in how we interact with each other and how we view ourselves. It's about creating a new paradigm where women's success is collective. Darlene's message resonates particularly strongly with Black women. As she put it, and I quote, now more than ever, Black women need a voice. We have always shined when they try to cover our light. Everyone pays attention when we speak, so let's go. This is a powerful call to action. It's about reclaiming our narrative, about refusing to be silenced or diminished. It's about recognizing that our voices are not just important, they're essential. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about feeling good about ourselves. It's about creating real, tangible change in the world. When women support each other, when we lift each other up instead of tearing each other down, we become an unstoppable force. Think about the women in your life, the colleagues, the friends, the family members. How often do you celebrate their successes? How often do you lift them up when they're feeling down? And more importantly, how often do you allow yourself to be lifted up by them? Darlene's vision of women supporting women isn't just nice, it's necessary. In a world that often tries to pit us against each other, choosing collaboration over competition is a radical act. It's a way of saying, I refuse to play by rules that don't serve me or my sisters. But let's be clear, this isn't about ignoring our differences or pretending that conflicts don't exist. It's about approaching those differences and conflicts from a place of mutual respect and understanding. It's about recognizing that another woman's success doesn't diminish your own. During our interview, Darlene shared a personal story that really drove this point home. She talked about a time when she felt threatened by a colleague's success. She found herself falling into that all too familiar trap of comparison, feeling like her own achievements were somehow less valuable in comparison. But then she had a realization. Her colleague's success didn't make her less successful. In fact, it opened up new possibilities. By choosing to celebrate her colleague's win instead of feeling threatened by it, she opened the door to a powerful collaboration that benefited them both. This story illustrates a crucial point. When we choose abundance over scarcity, when we choose to lift each other up instead of tearing each other down, we all win. It's not a zero-sum game. Your success doesn't come at the expense of mine, and vice versa. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, but what about healthy competition? Isn't that good for us? And you're not wrong. Competition can drive us to be better, to push our limits. But there's a world of difference between healthy competition that inspires growth and the kind of cutthroat competition that leaves us feeling depleted and insecure. Darlene's message isn't about eliminating all forms of competition. It's about changing the way we compete. Instead of competing against each other, what if we competed against our own limitations? What if we channeled that competitive energy into becoming the best versions of ourselves? This shift in perspective is at the heart of Darlene's brand, Worthy I Am. It's about recognizing your own worth, not in comparison to others, but as an inherent quality that you possess. When you truly believe in your own worth, you don't need to diminish others to feel good about yourself. But here's the thing, recognizing your worth isn't a one time event, it's a daily practice, a conscious choice you make every single day. It's about looking in the mirror and saying, I am worthy, even on the days when you don't feel it, especially on the days when you don't feel it. Darlene's message is particularly powerful for women who have been conditioned to doubt their worth, to shrink themselves to make others comfortable. It's a rallying cry for all the women who have ever felt too much, too loud, too ambitious, too opinionated. Here's a truth bomb for you. You are not too much. You are exactly enough. Your voice matters. Your dreams matter. Your success matters. And not just for you, but for all the women who will be inspired by your example. Now, I want to be clear. This isn't about toxic positivity or ignoring real challenges. Women, particularly women of color, face very real obstacles in their personal and professional lives. But Darlene's message is about facing those obstacles from a place of strength and self-worth rather than doubt and insecurity. During our interview, Darlene emphasized the importance of community in this journey. Because here's the truth, recognizing your own worth is powerful, but it's not always easy. There will be days when you struggle, when the old doubts creep back in. That's where community comes in. Surrounding yourself with women who uplift you, who celebrate your successes, and support you through your struggles is crucial. These are the women who will remind you of your worth when you forget. Who will push you to reach for your dreams when you're tempted to play small. But here's the key. You have to be that woman for others too. You have to be willing to celebrate other women's successes, to lift them up when they're struggling, because that's how we create a ripple effect of empowerment and support. Darlene shared another powerful story that illustrates this point beautifully. She told me about a networking event she attended early in her career. She was feeling out of place, intimidated by the successful women around her. But then something remarkable happened. A woman she'd never met before approached her, complimented her outfit, and struck up a conversation. That simple act of kindness, that moment of connection changed everything. It gave Darlene the confidence to network, to share her ideas, and ultimately to make valuable connections that helped advance her career. That story stuck with me because it shows the power of women supporting women in action. It doesn't always have to be grand gestures. Sometimes it's the small acts of kindness, the moments of connection that can make all the difference. Darlene's vision isn't just about individual empowerment, it's about creating a movement, a sisterhood of women who refuse to be pitted against each other. It's about changing the narrative from one of scarcity and competition to one of abundance and collaboration. Imagine the power of that. Imagine a world where women consistently choose to support each other instead of competing. Imagine the mountains we could move, the barriers we could break, the change we could create. This isn't just a nice idea, it's a necessary shift if we want to create real, lasting change in the world. Because when women support women, we become an unstoppable force. We change not just our own lives, but the lives of those around us. We change our communities, our workplaces, our world. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? What's the action step you can take today? It starts with you. It starts with recognizing your own worth, with choosing to see yourself as the unique, valuable diamond that you are. But it doesn't stop there. The next step is to extend that recognition to other women, to choose collaboration over competition, to celebrate other women's successes as if they were your own, to lift up the women around you, knowing that their rise doesn't diminish your own light. It only makes our collective glow brighter. Darlene's message, encapsulated in her brand, Worthy I Am, is a powerful reminder of a fundamental truth. You are worthy. Not because of what you've achieved or what you look like or what others think of you. You are worthy simply because you exist. Full stop. And here's the beautiful thing. When you truly believe in your own worth, you become unstoppable. You become capable of achieving things you never thought possible. You become a force for positive change in the world. So I want to leave you with the challenge. The next time you find yourself comparing yourself to another woman, stop. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself of your own worth. And then if you can, find a way to lift that woman up. Compliment her. Celebrate her success. Offer your support. Because here's the truth. There's enough success, enough recognition, enough love for all of us. When we lift each other up, we all rise. When we support each other, we all succeed. When we recognize the worth in ourselves and in each other, we become truly unstoppable. Remember, as Darlene so powerfully put it, now more than ever, Black women need a voice. We have always shined when they try to cover our light. Everyone pays attention when we speak. So let's go. Let's go indeed. Let's go forward into a future where women support women, where we compete not against each other, but against our own limitations, where we recognize our worth and the worth of every woman around us. This is more than just a nice idea. It's a revolution in how we see ourselves, how we treat each other, and how we move through the world. And it starts with you. It starts with me. It starts with all of us choosing every day to recognize our worth and to lift each other up. So I'll leave you with this. How will you choose to recognize your worth today? How will you choose to lift up the women around you? Because when we do this, when we truly embrace our worth and support each other, we don't just change our own lives, we change the world. And isn't that worth fighting for? Isn't that worth believing in? Isn't that the kind of world we want to create? I believe it is. And after my conversation with Darlene Chandler, I'm more convinced than ever that it's possible. So let's make it happen. Let's start the diamond revolution. Let's shine bright, lift each other up, and change the world one act of support, one recognition of worth at a time. Remember, you are worthy, you are enough, and together we are unstoppable. Now go out there and shine, not just for yourself, but for all the women around you, because when we shine together, we light up the whole world. Thank you.